everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of Gamestack. I am Shalene, and joining me is Rick McVick.
Hey everyone, how's it going today? Happy Friday.
And Vendertron. Vendertron.
Welcome, sir or madam. Apparently my button is, you gotta push it a little bit harder
Is
now.
that a record for time to off the rails?
Yep. Probably. No. We did screw up once before we even started, remember?
Oh,
true.
yes, but we edited that out. The people never even knew.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, now you do.
So, guys, I'm happy to see you. How are you doing?
Doing swell.
Well, do I look darker? It's because I've been in the desert
Ooh.
for 10 days in Arizona, just back from holiday, so that's nice. I did happen to purchase a military, a camo print U.S. flag. Can't get any more American than that.
Did I not call that? Did you listen to the last episode?
No.
Dude.
Okay, maybe.
Oh, well, that ruins it.
Oh, dear.
I
you
gotta
guys.
support you guys, right? I gotta listen to the show if I can't be part of it.
Did you buy one though?
God, no. I don't. Do they even sell that? Maybe it.
Pretty sure
I don't
that's
know.
not a thing.
Yeah, dude, it's America. Yeah, we'd sell camo.
I don't know, guys. That may not be a thing.
Oh, no.
Man. So.
Yes, it was a good time. It was very hot. I do miss it, but it is nice here. It's supposed to get really hot next week, so we're heading into our summer. How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Shalene?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. I ate fresh pizza. It was amazing instead of like frozen pizza. My mom brought
Ooh.
pizza. 'Cause tomorrow's my birthday, so she surprised me with pizza.
Oh, happy
which is
birthday.
Really fun.
Oh, well, happy early birthday.
Living where I live, it's like impossible to get good pizza. So that was a lovely surprise. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm doing really good. I had a pretty good day. Got a lot done at work. So yeah. I would like to give a quick hello to everyone joining us in the live chat. We've got M. Fournier, Mela Rodani, and Bree. Bree, it's been forever since we've seen you in chat.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Joseph Tao,
Welcome back.
Limus646. We're happy to see everyone here
It's an
today.
active chat already.
Yes,
Wow.
it is so nice to see all of our regular listeners and some new people. If you are watching live, feel free to hit that host button. It gets us out into the Twitch community. You can share us on your own channel. Other people watch. That's how that cascade effect happens. If you are listening or after the show or still watching live, also hit the follow button if you're new to the show.
Indeed, and if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our great content. And just before we get into it, I would like to mention that if you just can't get enough of our goodness here, we've got a Fallout 3 stream that we did last week that is live on the YouTube. Recently, I was a guest on an episode of the Fallout feed, so you can check that out. And I also posted a Fallout Loot Crate unboxing to our YouTube channel just yesterday, was that? It wasn't very long ago. But guys, we only need like 12 more subscribers to be able to have a spiffy vanity URL instead of an 8-mile string of random numbers and letters. So if you would just go ahead and give us a subscribe on YouTube, that would be
How many is that?
that will bring us to 100. And
So-
yeah,
How many more do we need though?
I believe we need 12. That was my
12.
last
Okay, 12.
my last
Let's
check
get there.
was 12.
All right,
So that's
12.
pretty
12 by the next show, guys. 12.
cool. Indeed. So Rick, do you want to talk about this next item?
I do. Yes. Let's get into the show notes.
We have some really good news.
Yeah, it's good news for me. It's good news for me. I got a new job. I think we might have mentioned that on a couple streams now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But what that means is it's kind of far away, and until I move, that means one of two things are going to happen. Either A, we're going to have to move the showtime to a later start date, later start time, so like 8:30, something like that, Eastern Standard or whatever that weird mountain time is that you guys use, or we throw it over to a new day. I think we're going to just move it back and start with there.
There is a third option. We
There is a
could,
third option?
yes, we,
Kick me
Shalene,
off?
This is
Shalene,
the,
we could
I'm
write
sorry,
Rick
guys,
out of the
but
show.
This is the last episode of Gamestack.
You're gonna kill my character off, huh?
Indeed, indeed. We hate for you to find out like this, but it's actually something we've been planning for a while. Oh, look at that. New subscriber to the YouTube popped up. Thank you, Nick Snyder. We appreciate it.
So anyway, I think the consensus of us three is we're just gonna start the show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, rather than move it to a new day or anything like that, because we figured that would be better.
Yes.
Yes. Everybody looks forward to it on Fridays, particularly us at the end of a long week. So
There's also a slight chance that it won't be an issue and 8 o'clock will be fine. My job's now going to be like 2 hours away almost. So when I get off work at 6:30, I'd have to somehow make it back before 8. And that's a very small time frame. So I just don't know if that's going to be possible, or else like I'll be popping in during like the news segment. So
Indeed. We don't want that. We want to have you here for the intro and everything. So
absolutely.
You're not going to write me out? That's good. That's good.
Well, we can't write you out. You have control of the podcast feed.
It's true. I can just hit delete and everything's gone.
We need your audio expertise.
But yes.
Also, I want a new soundboard.
We'll get there. But yeah, so I have a new job and it's going to be pretty cool, which is why I'm screwing everyone here over and making that start date later.
But yeah, just to give you guys a little warning on that, and we will let you know, watch our social media channels for further updates on that. We will let you know for sure.
In the chat, Fournier said, Rick can stream from the commute home. Yeah, I'll have my phone just setting on my dash. Problem is in Maryland, they tend to fan on handheld devices.
So guys, we're not just gonna goof around for the whole time. We have a podcast.
No?
We have a podcast. We are gonna talk about news. We have a lot of news. Everything, all the news has been exploding out into the world.
It's crazy right now.
We're gonna talk about our gameplay for the last fortnight. And I feel weird now calling it a fortnight because of the popularity of the video game Fortnite.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh gosh, they're gonna talk about playing Fortnite." Like, no, we're not talking about playing Fortnite.
I do have a Fortnite bit of news later on, though.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe there's a Fortnite synonym I can find.
And we are gonna get into the main meat and potatoes of the show, our E3 2018 predictions. It's gonna be wonderful. And emails, listener emails, those are also E3 predictions. You guys came out in force, let me tell you what. I posted a little tweet like, hey guys, email in for our show. And usually we'll get maybe one email response. Instead,
Bam.
We were just flooded. My phone was just like on fire. Smoke was curling up off the top of my phone. We got so many emails. Good job, guys. Way to bring your A game. And we will go through all of those. Well, actually, Rick, that's let us not throw stones from our glass houses, sir.
You be quiet down there.
Let us not throw stones at whose phone is better than whose.
Actually, it's funny because Rick's phone reset itself from his pocket.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I seem to recall your phone deleting everything spontaneously in your pocket.
I was like cutting down a bush, and inside my pocket, my phone decided to do a factory reset on itself and delete all my data. It's the last time I buy a Samsung. Don't buy a Samsung. Don't buy a Samsung.
So, my dears, let's roll on into the news. Walmart Canada. How about those crazy Canadians, huh?
Those Canucks.
How about those Canadians? Is that derogatory?
Canucks? It's more of like a central Canada thing.
So that's
like
regional?
Ontario.
Is it derogatory to those people who live there?
Actually, there's a team in Vancouver, right? Vancouver Canucks. But...
Okay, there you go. I just can't imagine like a bunch of Canadians going, hey, that's our word, eh?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you can use it though. Sorry.
Sorry, we took that word.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Walmart Canada actually they sort of posted a bunch of unannounced video games on their website, which was pretty exciting to the gaming community. These are things we don't know if these are things that Walmart Canada knows about, or if they're things that they simply speculate are going to happen. But here's the list of some of these listings. Tom Clancy's The Division 2. We already knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Splinter Cell. I believe we didn't know this was coming, but it's kind of a given considering that Sam Fisher appeared in Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yes. So did Predator.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
I actually
fun.
just fought the Predator. That was pretty crazy.
That's so fun, Rick.
Yeah, it was. The mission was amazing.
The Last of Us 2, Just Cause 4, Destiny Comet, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Metroid Prime, Beyond Good and Evil 2. We knew some of these were coming. Rage 2, Assassin's Creed, NBA 2K19, WWE 2K19, Dragon Quest 2, Smash, Borderlands 3, Lego DC Villains, Dreams, Forza 5, and Gears of War 5.
So the reason I think that this is actually true is because of the Division 2. Insurgency Sandstorm was announced already. I love Insurgency. Insurgency Sandstorm is going to be, if you're familiar with Insurgency, it's like a modern multiplayer shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But Sandstorm is actually going to have a single-player campaign focusing on
really?
A female protagonist. I can't remember if she's.
Well, we knew.
We knew a couple of these
Did it
games.
come to? Yeah, I mean, like we knew that The Last of Us was probably going to be on the docket.
Yeah, we knew several of these.
Metroid Prime has been
Yep.
building up for quite some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rage 2 is probably all the rage, but I think that was Rick's line. Sorry.
No. I wanted to point out that I cannot remember. The female protagonist is actually, she's not American, and I thought it was really interesting. Forget it. I can't remember.
It'll come to us later.
Yeah.
Well, it'll come and then you can talk about it. But related to this Walmart Canada leak. Gosh, that was a really weird.
Link. Link.
Part of this leak was Rage 2, and Bethesda did a bit of a cheeky response here from the Rage Twitter account. They posted a little mock-up of that listing and said, hey guys, wrong box art, used the wrong font, let me fix that for you. And then they started teasing some photos on their social media accounts. And eventually they did announce that Rage 2 was indeed a thing with 2 trailers. The game is in development by id and Avalanche. id, of course, is the Doom studio. Avalanche did Just Cause and Mad Max. And this game won't be releasing until 2019. It's been a long time since Bethesda's announced something this far ahead. And it's...
Yeah, that is weird.
It's also the first time in a very long time, maybe since Brink, I think, I didn't research that Bethesda has used an out-of-house developer.
Brinker?
Yeah, do you think this means maybe they're going to be a little more open with some of their properties?
Out-of-house developer. What are they actually working on in-house then?
Well, of course, I mean, Bethesda Game Studios is, of course, not involved, but they have numerous internal studios at Bethesda as a publisher, and
right.
This is the first time they've ventured outside in quite a while. So
Yeah, you never know.
Well,
Indeed.
There we are then.
By the way, Insurgency Sandstorm, wanted to touch base. It's a girl who was kidnapped by terrorists and she escaped, and she's an insurgency fighter with the Kurdish rebels. So the reason I found this interesting is because I don't think there's been a game like this that's really focused on a single player war story, modern, that's from a rebel's perspective. It's always
or a female's perspective
a female's perspective. Yeah. So it's always from like the American grunt or fighting the Ruskies or Chinese or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm kind of excited. I really like Insurgency, so I'm curious to see what this. But that's why I think this list is pretty real. I see a couple people talking about the new Assassin's Creed rumor. Someone said it's confirmed. Do we need another one so soon after Origins?
No, we don't.
I'm so I'm so early on still in Assassin's Creed. My backlog is so ridiculous, guys. I don't want another Assassin's Creed yet. I want to finish this one. Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
I've never been involved in Assassin's Creed. I think the most time I spent watching it was during any sort of E3 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure why. I guess I just have to play it to see, but I just never have.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but
But it is
I
a dead.
enjoy
It seems
it.
like it is a dead horse that's just keeps being beaten.
yeah.
Like
There's
how
a lot
much
of that
more?
going around.
How much more money can you like?
Hey, I mean, if they keep making games and people keep paying for them, why stop? Honestly.
Yeah. So Sony announced their E3 press conference. It will be at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time on June 11th. They stated that they will be doing a deep dive into Death Stranding, Ghosts of Tsushima, Spider-Man, and The Last of Us Part 2. Sean Layden, chairman of Worldwide Studios, also said stellar announcements from third-party pubs and indie devs as well. So,
I think the indie games is what I'm really looking forward to this year. I think that indie games are really going to become more mainstream.
I do enjoy some good indie games. It's been a while.
Yeah.
They also stated they won't be doing any hardware announcements at E3 this year, and I wonder, does that mean no price drops?
Maybe that means bundles, though.
Demos, guys.
Demos?
2018 is the year of demos. Just watch.
I hope so. I do like a good demo. So have you guys heard this news about the Steam Link mobile app?
I just saw that pop today on Feedly, and I didn't really get a good chance to look into it.
So basically, are you familiar with Steam Link?
Yeah, I have one for my living room.
Yeah. Well, it's that for your mobile devices, tablets and phones.
Interesting.
I'm a little skeptical because I know the one that I've used. We have the, we use a Xbox controller. No, mouse and keyboard or Xbox controller for the Steam Link, and it's not seamless. That's for sure.
I don't know how well it would work either. I suppose that would be largely dependent on your network speed and your device.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a big limitation that you have to be connected to the same network as the computer. I don't really see the need for this.
Yeah.
There are some situations where you would use it, like maybe if you only had a limited amount of screens, but...
Well, and I know that like Steam likes to use the big picture mode, and I can see that being a problem with integration into the app. I'm not sure. It'll be nice to, well, I mean, I think a lot of people will feel comforted to have the freedom of being able to play, games on mobile, wherever.
Do you guys use big picture mode on your on desktop?
No, I hate
Never.
it.
I was gonna
One
say,
time
yeah.
I
It's
accidentally
terrible.
clicked into big picture mode and I was like just devastated. I was so
I know, I
upset.
couldn't get out.
It works.
I
Well
felt
for,
like I had
a-
accidentally clicked a goatsy or something.
Oh gosh.
No, stop.
Okay, I wouldn't have said it was that bad. I do think it's more based towards when you're using it on like a Steam Link or something. But I wasn't sure if there were any like desktop users for it because I find it to be clunky as well.
Yeah, I
I'm
think it's
curious to see
horrible.
what the benefits will be using Steam streaming versus another streaming device.
I think like if you're at home, like this is the thing. I don't understand why they're trying to do this, but if you're at home and you're a PC gamer and you want to play games that are on your PC, where do you think you're going to play them at? On your
Right.
PC.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe if you're like, you have to go. Maybe you've had a big cup of Joe, and you got to go.
Oh,
And-
Jesus.
You can't spend 15 minutes away from the PC, and you got to use it. Maybe, I don't know.
Perhaps they're trying to bring back couch gaming.
That being said, I had a date night last night with my wife where we played Gungeon on the Switch, And that was one of the best experiences sitting on the couch with her playing games that I've had in a long time. So yeah, there is something to be said for that. But I feel like the Switch is kind of that for like that multiplayer couch gaming experience in general. But I don't know. Xbox and the PlayStation 4.
Indeed. Speaking of Xbox, have you guys heard about the Xbox One adaptive controller?
Interesting.
Yeah,
No,
Tell me more.
Definitely, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing that makes me super happy. So, Xbox One, they released this Elite Pro controller. I forget what it was called. I think it was the Elite controller. And it was $150. You could remap the controls. And they found that a lot of people who had limited mobility or some kind of disability were using these controllers because they were able to remap it to fit their needs. So, in response to this, Microsoft developed a special controller that's adaptable, and you can use it with mobility issues and some different whatever situation you have. You can adapt it so that you can play games, and I think that's a wonderful thing. I watched the video. And I was in actual tears watching these people who were unable to play games, just the joy on their faces as they were just sitting back enjoying a video game. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing.
I wonder if like Stephen Hawking had any influence on that. And that bringing it out this year is kind of like a tribute.
I doubt that. I believe the Able Gamers organization was very heavily involved in the development of this controller, and their mission for years has been to work on making video games as a hobby accessible for all people regardless of
Absolutely
ability.
Well, I mean, in any regard, I think this is a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised that it's only just really becoming part of the industry now.
Indeed.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot about this sometimes. Like if I'm doing some work somewhere where it involves my hands, and like, what if I lose a thumb? Like that's gonna be hard for console gaming, and it would always make me think like, what do people do that don't have normal use of their hands and that sort of thing. But I'm glad to see that they're finally answering that now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did have a comment. I've heard a bit of talk that maybe this wasn't motivated necessarily by the right reasons, that it was sort of a PR move. And I actually would go one further and say that it's just good business. In making these accessible controllers, they created hundreds of thousands of customers where a market did not exist before.
Because PlayStation doesn't have this.
Right. And this was absolutely a demand that existed and a supply that did not. So it was good business what they did. But their motives to me are irrelevant, because the results are what matters in this situation. I am so glad
and it's novel,
that these gamers
right?
get to play games. So that's wonderful.
Finally, Microsoft has done something right. What? Are we still live? Sorry.
What happened?
No,
Exactly.
Vendor made a salty
Nothing.
remark. There was a salty remark about Microsoft, and
Let's see
You
what
missed
people in the
it.
chat are
You
saying.
missed
Joseph
it.
Tao says the controller has like 22 different connection ports to be able to connect to any kind of device that you can imagine, to make it simple to interface with Xbox and Windows devices. And Fournier is saying there was a controller for the NES that you played by blowing out and sucking in. That's terrible. Oh, no.
so
That's
Do we know of this? Is that a thing, or is he making a joke? I don't know.
that's probably a thing. That's probably
it
a
sounds
thing.
like a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Fallout 3 Anniversary Edition might be a thing, guys.
Whoa.
Yeah, it might be a thing. So this was on. I would take this with all the salt, though. All the salt. Because why did you delete it, Rick?
I went to hit copy.
Just deleted it from the show
Why
notes.
did you delete it?
I meant to hit copy, but I hit cut.
I don't like that.
No. That is amazing.
Oh no.
So, guys, it was part of a document that was an alleged leak, and from a Nintendo press conference, it listed Fallout 3 anniversary, and I hope it's real, and I hope it means we get a Moira Brown amiibo.
We're gonna just send Vendertron a bunch of Moira Browns.
Oh, it would be amazing.
Hey there.
Oh dear, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, anyway, that's it. I hope it's a real thing. I would love to take Fallout 3 on the go. I would just love it. I would just love it.
Sorry, Mousetrap pointed out in the chat that Overwatch raised what did he say? $10 million for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
Wonderful.
I had no idea.
Yeah, with the pink Mercy skin, I'd heard about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did not realize that. I was mentioning to him that we don't follow Overwatch because I don't think any of us play it.
Mm-mm.
But it's awesome to see things like Extra Life or Overwatch doing things like this. It's very cool.
Indeed.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
A most worthy cause. You weren't interrupting. And
Actually, you bring up a good point there. Because if you think about it, how many people who were not capable of playing video games before will be playing video games to raise money for, say, their respective condition?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. If you can't run a marathon, that's why Extra Life,
Exactly.
So.
Absolutely. It does open. Oh man, I would love to see some people who couldn't play games before. Jumping on
I would love to
Twitch
see like their
and
first
just really joining in the community. I would love to see that. So, you guys ready? Move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Boss Key Studio closed down, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Boss Key Studios. They made Lawbreakers, that rousing success of a video game. It was from Cliff Bleszinski, who was the Gears of War guy, and before he left Epic. And I don't. It's not surprising that they closed. It was a little soon that they closed. I mean, it's very unfortunate for these people who've lost their jobs. But the reason why I included this was not because we're very interested in Boss Key Studios, but it's because they, Cliff Bleszinski in particular, showed some concepts for games that the studio was interested in making. And they showed this game where you ride dragons, and it just looked incredible. You ride dragons around, and like, it just looked amazing. It just looked amazing, and I wish they had made that one instead of Lawbreakers. I really did. And like, it's kind of a diversion, I guess, but that's...
Well, they didn't bring anything new to the table.
They really didn't.
I'm not really surprised, but it is too bad. I'm definitely in favor of like more, mid-level success studios like this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Joseph Tao put a link in for the NES hands-free controller, and it says that the D-pad was controlled by the user's tongue, while you could control the A and B buttons by blowing and sucking through the pipe.
yeah, I'm just looking at that now.
It's not quite sure how you could hit both buttons at once, but I'm sure they made it work. In 1989, it cost $179 straight from Nintendo, but now, as of this article written in 2009,
wow,
they go for $600 on eBay.
I could just see like them pulling it off the shelves because people were passing out.
I would hate to have to use a used one though. Off of eBay.
Yeah, no kidding. Only used once.
That's one time too many. But I'm glad that that's a thing that existed, though. I'm really glad that that's a thing that existed.
They were trying to make weird controllers already back in the 80s,
Yeah.
Which goes to show you that it took them this long to kind of figure it out.
Well, and if you think about it, like I can't think of any other home entertainment system that had a light gun back in the 80s.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Mousetrap in the chat said, "Roast me, Rick. I pre-ordered Battlefield 4 or Black Ops 4, and I said no need. It might be good." And he said, "Rick thinking Black Ops 4 might be good. Shalene Vendi, Rick's been replaced with a synth." No, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I try to do that with any game, for the most part. You know, and they're trying something new. They're focusing on what makes Call of Duty good, which is their multiplayer, and I think that that's a bold move, not having any single player in 4. But maybe it'll be a really, really good multiplayer. They have to justify the $60 price tag for it being online only. That's all.
An online only game shouldn't be $60.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Unless there's just so much content and so much to unlock and so much customization that it warrants it. So, but and you know, it is whatever. Do you want to take this one or
No, I think that you should.
This.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure. So, No Man's Sky is getting a huge update in July 24th, I believe, and it's coming to Xbox One. It's also going to have an Xbox One X expand, like, you know, beefier edition. But this next, it's literally called Next Update, is going to be their biggest one yet. And it's going to be pushed out to PlayStation 4, PC, and it's obviously going to be on the Xbox edition. And that's going to bring in full multiplayer. Now, they talked about multiplayer since 2016 when it launched. I have been a player of this game since 2016 when it launched. And if anyone should be salty about this game, it would be me. Because I spent 24 hours playing this game, not realizing it had glitched. And I could never, ever leave the galaxy that I was in because I could not get it work. And I didn't know this. So I was grinding.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was grinding for 24 hours before I realized that there was a glitch. And then I immediately started over. Still dug the game. Still dig it. So they kind of had this weird quasi multiplayer thing happening in their Atlas Rises update, where you could see other players, but they were like little glowing orbs.
Mm-hmm.
And you could like go to each other's bases and be like, hey, it's a cool base, man, and then like leave. So there's really not much you could do in multiplayer aspect. But you did introduce base building and vehicles and that sort of thing. So in this one, full multiplayer, you can be a pirate. You can gang up on other players. You can build colonies and galaxies with your own team. You can build racetracks on planets and race things. You can do like all kinds of crazy stuff, you know? You can explore together, and it's going to be really cool. It's what I wanted No Man's Sky to be, and the fact that they're still putting this much effort into making this game what it should have been and what it could be is very good. And it's when the game first came out, you would see all the Twitter responses to anything Sean or Hello Games would say would all be negative and derogatory. And I went and looked at Sean's latest tweet about this next update, and everything was positive. I had a hard time finding a negative. I know.
Ooh, I got chills.
Yeah, like a complete comeback. And to see Sean talk to Xbox in a video interview, and he's just all smiles.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is exactly what this game. I'm glad they stuck with their guns. They're like, just wait. It's going to be great. Just hold on. We're sorry. Wait. So yeah, I'm very excited. Hope vendor that you get it for PC. Me and Sean have it for PC.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, now that it's multiplayer, I kind of only want to play it on PC.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I think
and kudos to Hello Games and Sean Murray and his team. Like like if all of the hoopla did not happen at launch that happened, this game would be just another game. But they have sort of set themselves apart in the industry with respect to the fact that they have basically built themselves out of a hole that everybody thought they could never get out of. And I think that deserves some merit, you know, and recognition. And they're going to be the game that people remember.
Yes.
Because it had such a bad start and everybody was so mad about it, but now they're making right. And people are, I really hope that multiplayer takes off and that people love it, because that's what they deserve. That's what the developers deserve. They deserve for people to love the game and for it to grow in popularity.
Yeah,
given all of the work that they've done, free of charge, mind you, you know. So,
and it's a great game. It is this story. I just completed it today, and it's ridiculous. Like, it's mind bending. It requires so much on subtext for you to really kind of think. It's really cool. It's very cool, and I'm glad that they're putting more into it. And I'm excited for next. I was excited when I saw the first screenshot when they announced it a while ago, and to now they didn't say at all what was going to be in it. They just said the next update's going to be the biggest, and considering they threw base building and vehicles and all this stuff in like Atlas Rising and a myriad of new quests, I was like, oh goodness, how could this be bigger? So I'm really excited.
The really sad part is that when you go onto Steam, onto their page, 37%
ouch.
of over 80,000 reviews are positive. Only 37%.
It's because of that start, man.
So I don't think that will ever get rectified.
No, I don't think it will either, because most of the people that did get it on PC jumped, and I want to say that most of the players were on PlayStation 4 that I saw and heard of.
Mm-hmm. The
Steam content dropped, or the Steam players dropped a lot until the updates, Atlas Rising updates. But we'll see if that gets turned around. I don't know. It's but
wow, there's a lot of comment like good. I'm now happy that they won't abandon this game and head straight back to work. I hope it's better than when they started. I'm really excited for multiplayer. We're finally getting player models with animation. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to get this game eventually. So it's good.
I think it was really courageous of Sean Murray and his team to keep supporting this game and deliver on these promises. Honestly, guys, if I had been in their situation, I think I would have changed the studio's name and moved on to a new project.
And you know what? In Sean Murray's next interview, if he ever leaves Hello Games, they're going to ask him, what have you learned from this experience? Mm-hmm. And he's going to give them one hell of an answer.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. So speaking of games that have little content at launch, Sea of Thieves. Now, as much as the three of us loved this game, not past tense, love this game, we don't play it as much as we used to, because it kind of got a little old, I think.
We were playing it right up until I left the country.
The reason we quit playing was vendor leaving.
I went on vacation, man. So I'm up for Sea. You want to play Sea of Thieves tonight? Let's play Sea of Thieves.
So anyway, it doesn't have a lot of content. It does not have a lot of content. Let's just face it, it doesn't. So Rare has announced that on May 29th, not too long from now, they're going to release one of their first of 6 content expansions this year. And this one's size, so they say, and it's called The Hunger in Deep.
Now, keep in mind that they've only actually really released 10% of the game thus far.
Oh, really? Have they said that?
Yes. So this is very exciting because there's a lot more coming. And The Hungering Deep kind of hints at Krakens, guys.
Well, I'm going to read a little bit of the article that I'm looking at here with Eurogamer, and Merrick, who is the old sea dog in the trailer, says he speaks of great terrors from the deep, worshipped by ancient tribes who would offer a sacrifice and in return were allowed to sail the seas undisturbed, which makes me think that there's some ritual stuff going to happen, like Jonah and the whale stuff, like Rick diving, die. We got to sail, And then he says the stories are surfacing of ships disappearing and sightings of something impossible on the ocean. I am really curious to see what this looks like. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty cool. I like big underwater. I have had a thing for pirates and underwater creatures and mysteries of the deep since I was a wee kid. So like, this is just tickling all the fancies for me, man.
Well, maybe if we play it tonight, we'll be tickled from the giant kraken. Oh, stop it! Stop it!
Boo!
Kaploosh.
But it says there's also going to be AI threats. I don't really know what that means. That require. What did the developers say? The AI threat would require the crews to work together to discover and defeat. So I don't know if there's going to be pirates now that are AI controlled, because the seas have gotten quite...
That would be cool. I would like some NPCs. I just wanted to comment. Captain Bones in chat says, it's pretty obvious that I have a pirate obsession.
No.
Captain Bones! We would never have guessed.
Not in a million years. You know what I would really like to see is some ship NPCs that we could
Yes.
battle.
I would love that.
Like I like the idea of battling against other players on the server, but it would be cool just to fight NPCs
Yes.
without knowing that I'm actually hurting anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see some, pirate NPCs and that sort of thing. I want to see the biggest scary monster ever, like Cloverfield. I want to see that thing just come up out of the ocean.
Sea monsters are great. I love sea monsters.
Aren't they awesome?
They're good.
They're awesome. They
They're
should
good.
exist.
I think they're fine in video games.
Mm-mm. They should exist. Limit 64 says do some actual piracy. I use Kazaa. No.
Oh man, it's been a long time since I thought about Kazaa.
Share Bear. What was the other one? Share Bear? Bearware? I forget what it was.
And then there
Lime-
was of
LimeWire?
course,
LimeWire. Yep.
Now there's
Napster was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
microtorrent.
I was taking a nap. That's why they call it Napster. No.
Yeah. God, where's that from?
The
Italian Job.
Seth Green.
Yeah.
But I always love those commercials. You wouldn't steal a car, would you? Or like you wouldn't download a car, would you? And it's like, yes.
Yeah, I would.
I would. If I could like download a car and just there it is. Yeah.
Have you guys ever got a cease and desist order?
No, I haven't. I was too smart for that. Have you?
Yes, I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Tell me more.
Well, our ISP up here is a little bit crazy. It's TELUS, and they monitor things very closely.
Tell us more.
They are actually now involved in health record information tracking and things like that, which is a little bit scary because they're just a, cell phone company. But now they're building like electronic medical record systems for our healthcare system, and it's crazy. But yeah, I got a cease and desist order in the mail one day.
Wow.
It was basically just like a letter, like stating like we know that you've done this,
what you did,
and you need to stop.
This is why you use a Mac changer and an IP address bit like Tor browser. See, you need to just hide yourself, man.
Rick,
Yeah,
maybe you
whatever.
shouldn't be telling the listeners on our recorded podcast how to successfully do a piracy. We here at Gamestack Podcast do not endorse this kind of activity.
No.
And would never engage in it ourselves. Rick, why don't you tell us about Fortnite coming to Android?
Yeah.
So what you do is you download the Anarchist Cookbook. No, Fortnite is coming to Android.
Sometimes it bothers me so much that I can't throw stuff at you.
Well, you could. I mean, you just might need a backup webcam.
So I wanted to put this in here because I know some of our listeners probably enjoy Fortnite, and it's coming to Android. It's already out on iPhone or whatever devices. I sound old.
iOS.
It's coming to Android. It will have voice chat and it will have a customizable HUD based on a few blueprints. So that I thought was pretty cool. And also,
Look at you with the news this week.
I did, yeah. Battle Royale is coming to Black Ops 4. We talked about this a little bit. And it's probably going to be better than just a standard free-for-all mode. However, the funny thing is, they haven't said how many people it's going to support. So I feel like this is a car manufacturer saying, yeah, we're going to have the coolest car ever, and it's going to have the latest stuff. And people are like, is it going to run?
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not going to tell you. Like, the kind of how many, like, it's 10 people, Battle Royale. And it's like, well, we've been doing that since Halo 1. Free for all. So I'm a little annoyed that they haven't come out and said how many people this is going to support.
They're probably working on that right now and not 100% sure of what their engine's going to be capable of.
But I feel like when you announce we're going to have a Battle Royale, the first thing people think of, how many people?
Yes.
Because that's the point of a Battle Royale. It's a bigger version of free-for-all that you can maybe have little smaller teams in. And, games have been doing this forever. Like, this isn't something new. And even large-scale wars have been on PC since, like, Battlefield 2 days and before.
Mhm.
So like it's not that difficult of a thing to pull off nowadays. So I'm a little annoyed that they're not doing this. But I think it's cool again that with Black Ops 4 they're focusing more on multiplayer and what makes the game fun for people, because obviously single player was falling apart. So I thought that was a funny little article that they're like, we don't know. So yeah. They what is the but yeah, so anyway, I thought that was interesting. The other thing that I had to say is kind of a goofy little thing, that there's a stat now on Green Man Gaming that talks about cost per hour. Have you guys heard of this yet?
No.
So let's see here.
Well, not in the gaming sense, but
excuse me. The average cost per hour is simply the game's total cost divided by the average playtime.
Right.
okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So it's really kind of making you think, like, is this game worth my money? And I was looking at a few of their
Let's look at the stats.
and one of them is, let's see here. Skyrim. I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry. No, Doom. I'm sorry. Doom is said to cost $1.24 per hour. And Frostpunk, whatever the heck that is, will cost you $4.57 an hour. So it doesn't sound like that there's a lot going on there. So I decided to look on there for a couple things. And the Fallout 4 sale price, if you get it now on Green Man Gaming on sale, it's 16 cents per hour. That's a bargain. Fallout 4 VR, 46 cents per hour. The No Man's Sky sale price cost per hour is 90 cents. Now, this one surprised me as a testament to how bad Call of Duty games have been getting. Call of Duty World War II, cost per hour. Want to throw out a number? Think about it. What do you guys think?
Well, it depends. Are you a single player person or are you a multiplayer person?
It's just
you're
average cost per playtime. It's
Well,
average playtimes.
I don't know.
I think
I don't like
statistically-
these stats. I think this feels
Yeah.
highly suspect.
I think statistically you can't quantify a game like that.
I agree with you, but I do find these interesting. Call of Duty World War II will cost you $11.52 per hour.
Wow.
Wow. I
Conan
wonder how much PUBG would cost.
Conan Exiles will cost you $1.07. So yeah, I went through and looked at a few things, but it seems like Bethesda games are the best bang for your buck.
Well, okay, so the games that are designed like Fallout and other things, those ones I think you can put a dollar amount on time spent. But games that are reoccurring, continuous like that, like PUBG and
Right.
Arc and things, you can't.
Or even so on the other side of that spectrum, like Hellblade.
Right.
I'm sure that would have a high cost per hour, which is stupid because the experience is far worth more than that stupid little stat. And the Kotaku article that I was reading was also arguing about that too, that this is not a good stat for games, that it's not a good way to weigh your decisions. And I agree with it. It's stupid. It's just a fun. I think what Green Man Gaming was doing is just a fun little, oh, here's something else you could consider.
Mhm.
But I just thought it was an interesting little.
That is interesting. I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm all curious now how they price video games.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot on sale right now at, like I said, Green Man Gaming. There's a lot on sale, so you should go check it out. Some games don't have stats, though. A lot of the Ubisoft stuff didn't.
I'm sure Joseph Tao knows this.
So what's the value of this podcast per hour?
Yeah, it's actually
priceless.
$40 an hour. So, but if you act now, you can get it for $20 an hour.
I'm really laughing. M. Fournier is like, Fortnite, $0 per hour because it's free to play.
Yeah.
That's a good
Clever,
one. That's a good one.
clever.
So, yeah.
So
That's
Rick,
all the news bits I had.
Wow,
thank
that
you
is some
thank you
intense
for bringing
news
that
for a
news.
podcast, guys.
Indeed. That was
Mhm.
quite the news. What a show this is shaping up to be.
I've been trying to up my game in the news, and I've been talking in the We Just Love Games chat
Indeed.
Discord, so I've been trying to be more assertive.
Well, we've still got a
Fabulous.
lot to go through. We got our gameplay for the week, our challenge, which never actually came to fruition, our
Sorry.
E3 predictions, and listener emails. And it's almost 7 o'clock, so let's get started.
Okay.
Rick?
What have you been playing?
I've been we played some PUBG the other night.
Hey!
That was fun. I got some kills, and it was great. It felt wonderful. And I've been playing Fallout 4 again. I think I mentioned that before. But what I really want to talk about is No Man's Sky. I started playing that pretty heavily because I was like, yeah, Next is coming out. And this was actually, I started playing it before they really announced what Next was. Oh, I've been talking with Mousetrap in Discord. He didn't even know what my name is. I'm FoxDie31 in Discord. So,
Oh, side note. Shall we announce Discord? Yes?
are we doing
Oh,
that?
are we gonna do that? We didn't decide.
Well, I think it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're announcement. Sorry, Rick, interrupting your gameplay. We are bringing Discord public. You guys, you no longer have to ask us for a special link or an access code. We are going to post the URL and access to the Discord so that everybody can join in. And of course, the perks of being auto-entered into giveaways and things like that still stands because we're awesome and we love you guys. And so we just want to make it easier both on us and for our listeners, but harder on our mods because, you know, now they're going to actually have to pay attention to
maybe we
things that
should
are
have told
happening
them
in our
this.
chat room. Probably should have told them, but here we are having a meeting on the show.
Indeed.
Mods, pay attention. Also, I am happy to lend my ban hammer back.
So yes, that you know, if things do get out of hand, we will have to swing that hammer a little bit harder.
Joseph Tao says, yeah, thanks for the heads up. Of course, he is one of our lovely mods. And I forgot to shout him out today. Thanks, Joseph Tao, for helping compile news for the podcasts.
Yes. Yeah, we will. I will definitely be monitoring it more closely. And, you know, we'll be very careful. This is a nice little experiment. If it goes awry, we will fix it. If it works out, we will, you know, it'll work
But
out.
it's really nice. I mean, we've got a really great community going, and it's really nice to see what other people are up to during that 14 days and 14 nights. And like Joshi Neurotic, one of our avid listeners, just had back surgery.
Yes.
So we do hope that you make a very speedy recovery, and we're hoping for your return to the chat room as you always bring lots of cheer. So.
Definitely. We hope that you're back to normal as soon as you can and you're, you know, back to doing all the things you normally do.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways,
Back to my story.
yes.
No Man's Sky. I decided to finish off the Atlas Rising quest line that I started years ago. And I just, not years ago really, but I just focused on that. And that was, see now this is the silly part. I want to spoil things, but you guys haven't played it yet. And I feel silly for spoiling it for you, but at the same time, it's been a long time.
It's okay with me.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. So you find out through the DLC storyline that I was doing and not the main storyline, you find out that Atlas, there's this big decision between Atlas being a god or following the other, like there's two paths you could follow. The Atlas path, which is like Atlas is this god revered thing. And it's also this weird entity that nobody really understands or knows. You could follow Netta and Polo's path, which is these two outcasts, and they show up every once in a while. So those are the two main paths that were in the story when it first came out. So the DLC added a new path called Atlas Rising, and it had this other traveler that you were trying to connect with. And the whole point of it is you're trying to find him. You're trying to meet up with this traveler, and you find each other, and you give each other the coordinates of where you are, and it's the same planet and the same coordinates, and you're using the same comm system. And you're like, why can't you see each other?
Mm-hmm.
You find out there's multiverses. There are myriads of multiverses that are as big as the one you're in, as the biggest universe you're in. And there's this number that keeps repeating, 16. And you're trying to figure out what this 16 means. And anyway, long story short, Atlas is a computer thing, and it's running No Man's Sky, the universe, every traveler in the multiverse. There's one like traveler per multiverse. Everything's a simulation. It's all fake. It's not real. And it's a cycle. There's a problem with the mainframe Atlas, the center of the galaxy. There's a problem with the Atlas interface where it'll reboot itself. And the 16 means that there's 16 minutes left until Atlas reboots itself and everything gets wiped and starts over. But in the multiverses, you could have millions of years left because time's different. It's relativity. So it's this weird mind-bending thing where, like, you can't see other travelers. Like, you can't seem to get to the same. You can't see this traveler because he's in a different multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to. You need to go find Atlas because you're trying to figure out if you can stop whatever this glitch is happening. Because the Atlas gets afraid, and he doesn't want to die, so he just resets himself until the glitch comes again. It's like this weird glitch in this code. It keeps coming up. It's almost like Mass Effect, where these people know that there's something wrong. The walls between the multiverses are falling, and there's problems and these weird patterns showing up all over the universe, yet they shouldn't be there because it's supposed to be random. And that's just Atlas crashing. And so it got real convoluted and weird. And I traveled to the center of the galaxy, and I rebooted Atlas, and I changed the entire universe based off of a decision.
Wow, that's cool.
And so you start over, you have all your gear, but like it's all broken, and you're on a random planet, and you got to fix everything again and just start over.
I want to play it now.
Well, I think there's these, when you go to these Atlas stations, you get these orb like blueprints, and you can build these orbs, and they all, like, the first orb you get is required to build the second orb, which is required to build the third, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you get all 10 of these and then you go to the center of the galaxy, if you can like fix the glitch. I don't know. It's hard to really understand the game because the languages you don't understand. You've got to learn the words because you can't speak the alien languages. It's really weird. It's kind of it's really weird. So it's a lot of fun. It's one of those games that's really mind-bending, and this is why I say I really appreciate the Hello Games, because they spent so much time in making a game that works, and it's just strange. And at the same time, you're making decisions based off of bad information, because you listen to an alien talk and you can't understand a word he says, but then it gives you a description of like what he does physically, and you got to make a guess off that. And
wow.
So it's really cool, and it's it's really
yeah,
cool.
Captain Bones in the chat says I'm not really listening because I might still play No Man's Sky, especially now that multiplayer has been added. And did we actually mention when it is coming out?
Yeah, July 24th.
Is it July or June 24th?
July 24th.
July 24th, guys. So you heard it here last, like most things. July 24th.
And I'm done talking about it, Captain Bones, but I have a feeling that the multiplayer is going to be a different game mode than.
Oh, it's going to be an
makes more
entirely
sense.
different experience.
I'm
very excited.
I am too.
I think we're
I'm
gonna have
very
a good
excited.
time.
Because I love.
Oh dear, Cortana is activated.
I loved No Man's Sky playing it on PS4, so yeah,
it's a great game.
excellent. Well, I only played as far as finding Atlas, finding the hologram person.
You got to the first interface then.
That's as far as I got.
I think I played about 20 minutes, maybe.
You know what? The resource harvesting is really sort of like a methodical, therapeutic thing for me, because I'm a completionist by nature, and that game just like swoons over that. So
I didn't give it much of a chance. I really
the
didn't.
soundtrack too is fan-freaking.
The soundtrack, I actually listened to it all the time. It's on Spotify, and I listen to it at work while I'm working. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Forty, shut up. No battle. Actually, technically, I guess the multiplayer is going to be technically a battle royale because everyone can be against each other.
I wonder if you can have more than one person in a ship.
Well, I hope so.
I thought about that too. I don't think that's the case.
I'm gonna have to drive
That'll
my
be
own
interesting.
ship. I don't want to drive my own ship.
Or will it be like everybody pick a ship sort of thing?
Yeah. But there's different
See, I
classes.
thought like me and Vendertron would be in the back playing hologram chess while you drove the ship.
Let the Shalene win.
Let the robot win.
Oh, Shalene, I love you.
So, no, but here's the thing, though. Like, me and one of you two could be in, like, a fighter, but then there's other class vehicles, like shuttles and haulers.
Okay.
So, like, we
I
could,
want to
like,
drive a big old cargo ship.
yeah, you could fly a cargo ship, and me and Vendor can be your wingmen and protect you
Yeah.
It's gonna be
when
good.
pirates come and attack.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
good.
And we can make a bundle.
I'm really excited to see what will come. We should
It's like-
definitely stream it.
Oh, of course, it's
Good
gonna
idea.
be great.
Yeah.
I'm like so excited.
Thunder, what you been playing?
Well, I've got I reached a very big milestone in gaming, you guys.
Did you?
Very big. And I tweeted about it earlier this week. Probably many of you already know. I reached 1,000 hours of gameplay in Ark.
Wow.
That's insane.
I have never reached 1,000 hours of gameplay in anything, which I think speaks to how much I actually like this game. So, yes. So we lost our server, as I mentioned very hastily on previous episode here. So I just been playing by myself, just building and exploring and taming and things like that. So, yeah, still fun, always fun, still love it. Yeah. I've also recently started playing Fun Run 3 again, which is incredibly addicting.
That game's ridiculous.
It's so much fun. Shalene, did you know that there's achievements?
I haven't tried it yet.
There's achievements. And there's outfits. There's like a limitless amount of hats that you can have in this game.
I do like a good hat.
Right now my little character wears a Spartacus hat. It's got the, it's very, very Roman inspired. I love it. I was playing it actually just before we went live. I'm kind of addicted. Anyways, that's all I've been playing because I've been a little bit busy and traveling and things. So what about you, Shalene?
Well, I've been feeling some Fallout 3 nostalgia, guys. So last week we did the Fallout 3 stream, and surprising nobody, I still love Fallout 3. It's still really fun.
It's a great Fallout.
It really holds up, guys. I did miss the quick loot that you do in Fallout 4. You know how you can just hover over something and loot? I missed that, but I do still very much enjoy Fallout 3. That was a lot of fun. And I want to keep playing that. I want to keep playing, but I might wait and see if this anniversary edition is a real thing. So, yeah.
Are you gonna really buy it?
Of course I will. Of course I will, Rick. Do you really have to ask? You know I will.
Look,
What
you're
if it
keeping
has a
Bethesda's
separate
lights on.
achievement list, Rick? What if it has a separate achievement list and I could get the achievements again?
If Bethesda ever went public, you would be the #1 shareholder in sheer goods.
I'm probably the reason they don't have to go public. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see about that. The only other game I've played is God of War. And I have some things to say about God of War. I'll try and, I know it's long in the notes, but I'll roll through it pretty fast. When a game comes out that reviews really well and is popular with the public, I've noticed that the discussion around the game tends to veer into hyperbole. Journalists and podcasts, etc., they tend to go a little too far with the praise. And that happened with Mario Odyssey, which is a very good game, but not a masterpiece. Not in the context of contemporary games that came out alongside it, and not alongside other games in the Mario series history. And I do see the same thing happening with God of War to an extent. Now, God of War is a very good video game. I like it very, very much. And I would not be surprised if this was my game of the year for this year. Yes,
really?
even knowing that Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out, this might be my game of the year this year. But you know what? Sometimes games are just very good games, and that doesn't necessarily mean they're perfect. And now that I've had some more time playing, I do have some gripes with it. And one of those is fast travel. I'm probably about 20 hours into the game now. Maybe a little bit farther. And to keep it vague, the bones of a fast travel system are there. And I'm sure they're going to unlock the ability to fast travel, but they haven't yet. Why can't I fast travel? I'm a grown-up. I have a job. I'm busy all the time. I do a podcast. Let me fast travel.
Oh no.
The world is big, and there's a lot of side quests. There's a Metroid style aspect where you can gain the ability to open chests and access areas in earlier portions of the game with abilities you unlock further along. So why do I have to walk the whole way back to do this? Why can't I fast travel? I adore the characters. I think they're very well written. The story is kind of predictable, though. I can kind of see it coming. The puzzles are kind of bad. They're not interesting, and they're not always fun. And instead of adding layers to increase challenge of puzzles, they just added time sensitivity. And I hate time sensitivity in video games. I hate that.
I love the lunkhead thing.
Yes, exactly. They're very lunkhead puzzles, Rick. Very lunkhead.
Round hole, you have a square block and a round ball.
Yes.
And it's like, now you've got 10 seconds.
Uh-huh. The camera is sometimes pulled in a little bit too tightly to effectively match up against multiple foes. It's a little hard to tell where attacks are coming from sometimes. There are too many stats and too many currencies for this type of game, in my opinion. That's not a big gripe. It doesn't make the game less fun, but I think there could be less currencies to spend. Now on to the good. Even though the plot beats are occasionally very obvious, the storytelling is beautifully done. Beautifully done. Masterfully done. The graphics are very nice. Even on my launch day PS4 with a TV that's kind of falling apart, my screen is kind of separating from the inner workings of the TV, but this game still looks good. Darn it. The game is done in a single shot, which is very cool, which means they've hidden the load screens very cleverly. There are a lot of elevator rides, and occasionally there's like mystical fog or a cutscene where Kratos lifts a rock. And it's easy to suspend your disbelief and not realize that you're sitting through a load screen or that you're experiencing a load screen.
That's very clever.
Something I've noticed is that you'll have to go to a platform to go somewhere else. And sometimes the son, Atreus, won't stand on the platform right away. He'll stand next to the platform. And then he comes and gets on the platform. And I'm like, you're loading the next area, video game. I see what you're doing there. The axe is so fun. It is so fun to play with. And Atreus as a character is very fun. He adds variety to combat, and he's a nice foil to Kratos' stoicism. And it's kind of hard, guys, to list all of the good things about this game without rolling into spoiler territory. So I'm not going to do that. But I do highly recommend this game. It's really fun. Very fun game. So I'll probably play that all weekend. So
Nice.
I'll have to play it sometime.
you should. I highly recommend.
Cool. Well,
I also have one other thing I'd like to add to my gameplay. I got pins.
oh yeah.
Yay!
I came home from vacation and this was in the mail.
Yay!
Thank you, Shalene. I love them.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
yours are so cool. I like the little Slimer goop. Is that radiation?
It's
Is that
Yeah,
like
he gets-
radiated poo.
It's like a radium
Yeah.
fever.
Yes.
If you
See,
notice,
I got
the
you
only
with
one.
the Vendertron.
If you notice, the only one that's missing is the robot and the man holding hands. Because that's the one that I put on my backpack.
Nice.
I haven't taken any of them off. I did take one off to look at it, and then I put it promptly back.
Yeah, I specifically chose the one with the robot for you, Vendor, and the one with the like cool guy with sunglasses for Rick.
I do love it. I love it very much, and I'm so glad that you sent it because I tried to cash in on the Bethesda Store sale, and I couldn't cash out. Literally.
Yeah.
I tried multiple times putting in the credit card information and everything, and it just wouldn't move to the next page. So, very sad.
Yep, my pens are sitting on my wall of Fallout and other things.
So
In
I
between
have
my Pip Boys.
So I have an idea for a Gamestack challenge if we don't have one on the docket.
Do
I
it.
don't think we do.
So my idea, and this literally came to me as I was cycling to work today, listening to your guys' last show. We should have a junk drawer challenge in which everyone just sends in whatever image of whatever game or gameplay or game related picture that they want to send in, and then we will interpret it the way that we want to interpret it.
Oh, so like no context?
No context whatsoever.
I love this. No context screenshots.
Yes.
I dig.
Oh, this is going to be so good. I love it. And then when we're
Still-
watching them, if one of us like has played that and knows what it is, that one can't respond.
Yes. Yeah.
I love
it. So that's the challenge idea. And it seems like it's well received. So I think we're going to go with that. How can people enter the challenge?
Shalene.
Okay, I was waiting for one of you guys to pick that one up. So, guys,
don't
you
know.
can enter the Gamestack challenge by tweeting your screenshot of something random from a video game to We Just Love Games at We Just Love Games. Hashtag Gamestack Challenge. Alternately, if you are not a Twitter user, you can email that in. If you don't use the hashtag on Twitter or email, we're probably not going to get it in the show. We're just probably not. And try very hard to get them in by Thursday night before the next podcast. Because if it's after Thursday night, you're also probably not going to get it in because we have to get those prepped before the show. So yeah, thank you.
And so I added the E3 conference schedule to the show notes here because I just thought it might be informative for listeners in case anybody's wondering. But I think we're moving into our E3 predictions segment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Did you guys want me to run through the schedule, or Shalene, did you want to?
I would like for you to do it, Vendertron.
All right, so we've got the full E3 conference schedule here, of which Shalene will be there for which dates?
Just the Saturday and Sunday.
Perfect. So June 9th and
Monday
10th.
morning.
The first day of the conference is EA. That is on Saturday, June 9th at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And on the following day, the June 10th, which is the Sunday, Bethesda and Microsoft will be presenting their content. Bethesda first at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Wrong.
And then
Microsoft is first.
Microsoft is first. Yes, at 1 p.m. My apologies. 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is actually 4 p.m. Eastern time. Bethesda actually has two showings. The first one on Sunday, June 10th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And then their
Really?
next showing is on Monday, June 11th at 8:30 Eastern time.
Are you sure?
This is straight from the E3 site. So maybe it's wrong. I don't know.
think that's a boo-boo.
Square Enix, I'm just going to keep going with it because it's all we have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Square Enix shows their content Monday, June 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Ubisoft, Monday, June 11th at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern time. Sony, Monday, June 11th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then Nintendo will end off the conference on June 12th at 6 p.m. CEST. Is that Central something? Eastern? Central Eastern? 12 p.m. Eastern time. So, but hopefully maybe I don't know. She's doing her homework. She's looking at the times.
Yeah, I
I'm
was trying to
not
look
actually. I'm not at all.
That's just the schedule that I pulled straight
Yeah.
offline. So hopefully it's correct. I thought I would be
Indeed.
helpful and put it on here, but
So I will be there. I will be there for Microsoft. That's the one that I was invited to. So I will be at Microsoft, and that's the only one I will confirmed be at at this time. So I'm pretty excited.
well,
Shall
Cool.
we do some E3 predictions?
this is what we've all been waiting for.
Yes, this is it. Okay, so should I just roll through mine and then you guys go, or do you want to do them one thing at a time?
No, absolutely. Why don't we start with Ubisoft?
Yeah.
Okay. So my Ubisoft predictions are, first off, there will be a new Trials game. And this is just my wishful thinking because I sure want a new Trials game. It's coming to Switch, and, stay with me, it's also a Battle Royale.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Rick, what do you got?
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't have. I'm not good at predictions, man. I really have been like trying to think about this stuff all day, and I just don't know the company's good enough to predict anything. I'm really bad at this. I don't have anything for any of them. I really don't.
My predictions this year are very off the cuff. So my prediction for Ubisoft, for games anyways, is I'm predicting Tom Clancy's Hunt for Red October with Sean Connery voiceover.
Would play 10 out of 10 game of the year.
Also, Tashanka DLC.
We've got to get the Enema machine. Sean, I think you mean the Enigma machine.
Oh, look, a penny.
No, it's the Enema. The Enema. Enema
I love it.
Oh, the Enema.
For tech, I'm expecting a new sunglasses line called FB Eyes, and coming out of a new product live called Ubisoft, the world's most advanced shaving cream.
Wow, that's amazing, Bender.
That's absolutely.
That's incredible.
Wow.
That's all I got.
I did have a couple more for Ubi. The Assassin's Creed mobile game is available now. I think they're going to be on there and be like, download it now. I also predict Sam Fisher as a playable character in The Division 2, and the Prince of Persia series returns.
Prince of Persia.
If anything, they're going to do like they do in Ghost Recon, where the Sam Fisher outfit is available.
Right.
So, because it'd be hard to cross those games over, I think.
Well, I think it could happen. It could happen.
It could.
Yes. It's going to happen, Rick, obviously. It's going to happen.
Obviously.
Which one do you want to do next?
Microsoft?
Yeah.
Okay. Microsoft. Exclusive extended look at the new Splinter Cell game. Michael Ironsides reprises his role as a grizzled, beardy old man Sam Fisher. My next prediction, Fable 4. It's also a battle royale.
Wait a second. How did you jump from Sam Fisher being under Microsoft to...
I think it'll be on both stages. I seriously do. That's a serious prediction.
Oh, okay. I was a little confused there for a second.
I think it will be in both shows, in the Ubisoft show and the Microsoft show. So, I think that Remedy is going to show up with an Alan Wake game. And I think there will be a Hail Mary Halo trailer at the end of at the very end, like, hey, one more thing, you guys. Here's Halo 6. And it's also a battle royale.
Well, Halo is coming to the arcade. Did you see this?
I did see that. I don't know how I feel about it.
It takes place during the first one.
Yeah. I love Halo so much, and I want there to be new Halo, and I want it to be good Halo. And I just, like, I don't know. I have such deep feelings for the Halo series, and I don't know. I don't want them to hurt me anymore.
Why are you...
Halo.
What's wrong with Halo?
No, it's just
the story for Halo 5 was real bad.
As long as they don't have jump jets and like weird power up and bubble shields, give me the original. That's great.
The power ups were fine. It was fine. The story for Halo 5 was real bad.
It was very bad.
Really
Actually,
bad.
I can't remember if I played 5.
I don't think you did.
Was that the one with all the ancient things, the gold floaty dudes? And...
that was 4, which was pretty solid.
I was super confused.
A lot of Halo purists did not like 4. I loved 4. I thought it was quite a fun video game.
Sorry, I was just going to quickly ask, did we have any listener predictions for Ubisoft?
Well, we're going to just go through theirs as emails. I didn't have time to sort them.
But Mousetrap asks about Rainbow Six Siege, and there's a couple of us in chat saying that there's no way they're going to pop out another one of those, unless it's like DLC. because that game is running super strong at this time. The problem with Siege that I see is just it's really hard for noobs to get into it because everyone who's in it now is amazing.
I just want to be an operator. Not really.
Hello, Dayton 10-6. Connect me to 305.
What are your Microsoft predictions, Rick? Any?
I think they're going to have Telephone Operator Sim 1. I'm trying to think of what actually came out recently from Microsoft that wasn't just a part of Microsoft. I don't have anything. The only thing I could think of that I hope that I would love another Fable, but I don't think it's under Microsoft's banner anymore.
It is, yeah.
Is it still? Yeah. I'm hoping for another Fable then. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
I know that there was talk about a Fable 4.
Yeah, there was talk about a Fable 4 on this very podcast, I believe.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So.
That's what I'm predicting.
I think it can happen. I think a new Fable could happen, and I think it could be good.
Maybe even a new Sid Meier?
That would be cool.
Civilization 6?
Isn't there already Civ 6?
I want more pirates. I want more pirates.
Yeah.
I want Skull and Bones.
I was sad Skull and Bones was delayed.
Isn't that Ubisoft, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and Metro got delayed. What the frick is up with that? Stupid. I have been looking forward to that.
I'd rather have a delayed game than a bad one.
I agree with that, especially Metro.
I agree with that.
Ha! I was right. Tao says Civ 6 is out.
Oh, is it?
I knew it.
Civ 6 is out.
I knew Civ 6 was out. Ha! Vindication.
Okay, 7. I don't know. See, this is why I'm bad.
So, guys.
Stop asking me.
Vendor, what do you have for Microsoft?
Microsoft Solitaire in VR, complete with microtransactions for extra cards.
I love it!
I also have a sequel to Crackdown 4 called Crack Up 4.
Nice.
I'm also anticipating Ori and the Will of Whispers, the game of gossip.
Very good.
For that's just games. For tech, I have high hopes for a revamped Microsoft Store, and I'm being serious on that one.
Out a new multiplayer lobby system.
I would also like to see an Xbox One X1, so that I mean, come on, guys. If you think about it, the abbreviation is XOXO.
That's wonderful.
It would be such a missed opportunity if they left that out. Make it happen, Microsoft. Xbox One X1.
That's wonderful.
And it'll come in an Xbox One X1 box.
I love it.
Big X on it. No.
Yes, that's really good.
Sony. Let's talk about Sony.
Okay, I predict a new Death Stranding short film, and Jeff Keighley is added to the cast.
You got it. They did say that they're going to explain more about this game during their event.
We'll see. This game. I think there's going to be a new short film, and this one's going to star Jeff Keighley.
I love Jeff Keighley.
I know, it's going to be good. They're going to also announce some God of War DLC, and it's just the ability to hug Atreus. $20 sells like gangbusters. Hug your dang son is what it's going to be called.
Yeah, I mean...
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, they've already kind of talked that they're going to have the Death Stranding, well, according to you, short film, and then the Ghost from Ipanema, or whatever the thing is.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Whatever. And the Ghost of Fukushima.
That would be a better game.
That would and The Last of Us Part 2. I can't think of anything that I would like to see something else. I don't know if that, and again, here, my terrible ill preparedness. I don't know if the developers who did The Last Guardian are going to do anything again, but I would like to see something in the Colossus realm. I know that they just did the remaster, but I love that storytelling that they do. And I hope to see something from them. I forget who that
Fabulous. Team Eco?
Yes.
I think there's going to be a new trailer for the Catherine remake. And I think that Rockstar is going to have something on the Sony stage. Usually I say that Rockstar is too big for E3. They don't need E3, and they don't. But I think they're going to walk out on the Sony stage and surprise us all with Bully 2.
I never even played the
Oh my
first
God.
one.
Bully 2 would be fun.
Bully.
That would be pretty awesome, Shalene.
Yes.
Yeah, and your E3 predictions are pretty accurate.
Well, I don't know. This year, I don't think they're going to be.
But
very
we were
accurate.
hoping for Bully. I think you were hoping for Bully
I
last
think
year.
these are the same predictions I make every year, you guys. What have you got, Frisk Bender?
All right, for games, I've got Cannabis and Cannabis Farm Simulator. I really think that this is actually going to happen, you guys.
That would be great. I would love the narrator to be Tommy Chong. Hey, man.
Wow.
Welcome to the simulator, man.
Right?
I can't do it, but yeah.
Snoop Dogg just driving a tractor across the... Oh, that'd be great. A sequel to Death Stranding called Death Standing, but in VR, where you just stand for hours.
That
And
sounds real.
it does involve Loot Crate rewards for new best times. I'm also anticipating a Spider-Man, which I think everybody is anticipating. Of which the only tech that Sony will come out with this year is cobweb spring controller attachments for
Wow.
Spider-Man. Yes.
So, do you guys remember that like swath of like internet games where it was like "Don't shoot the puppy" was the one I think of, where all it is you click start and it says "Don't shoot the puppy" and that's it. And if you touch anything, it shoots the puppy. And like you can't move at all. Like you just don't touch anything, and the second you do, you shoot the puppy. So that's like Death Standing.
Yes.
Also, I wanted to say I would love to see a Bully game come out where the theme song is "Bully Bully" by Sam and the Sham and the Pharaohs.
That would be amazing.
Bully Bully. Yeah. So.
I love it. Oh man, Shalene, what have you got for EA?
We will see a Star Wars single-player game, and the surprise here is that it actually looks good.
No, it's going to be a reveal trailer for their EA presentation, but in order to see it, you got to pay for the
You have to
chance.
pay to
Oh my
unlock-
god.
Pay to unlock the gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna skip that one because it's dumb. BioWare teases a new Dragon Age in which the Grey Wardens once again take center stage. That game is years out, though, years in the future.
I can't believe you skipped that.
But
That's so good.
this year, you can play a Dragon Age Origins remaster. Do you want me to go ahead and go with it?
Yes.
Okay.
You need to tell the people what's in your mind.
Madden 19 has a story mode with branching paths. There was a story mode in Madden
Yes.
18. But the Madden 19 story mode, the decisions you make in your personal life are going to affect your ability to play the football season. Like, if you have trouble with your wife, then you're going to be distracted and you're not going to do as well at the football.
Don't do drugs. Stay in skits.
Do I not
Stay
shoot?
cool, kid.
Exactly. And I
Oh,
think
that's
that
so
they're
good.
going to show Anthem, and I think it's going to be one of those super cringy presentations in which they have all this scripted dialogue. Like they're going to have some influencers up there, you know, some nice YouTubers, and they're going to be there together, and they're going to be like, oh, hey, Rick McVick, why don't you go over here to the left and flank left? And then you're going to be like, all right, Shalene, you know, that's just
Oh my
a
gosh.
horrible canned dialogue. It's going to be bad. It's going to
Yeah,
be bad.
I mean, fine, but that's a lot of EA or E3. A lot of EA too. I still am looking forward to Anthem. I don't care what you say. The combat mechanics in Andromeda were fun,
yeah.
and if that's anything like Anthem, I don't
Let me
care.
tell
I
you,
think it's
Rick.
gonna be fun.
I think Anthem probably is going to be fun because Mass Effect multiplayer is pretty fun. But Anthem is the game that, okay, guys, like I gave the Dragon Age prediction because I want Dragon Age, but let's do some real talk here, you guys. Let's do some real talk.
Okay.
Anthem has murdered the Dragon Age franchise. That's
Whoa,
that's
absolutely.
my opinion. Anthem
I
has
agree with you.
stuck a knife right in the back of the Dragon Age franchise, dragged it to the pier, and pushed it in the water. And there goes Dragon Age, a bloated corpse floating away into the sunset. And Anthem did that. So I just have to hate it on principle.
Do you really think they're gonna abandon that franchise for something completely original?
Yes, I do. I think they are working on Anthem instead of working on Dragon Age, and I think Anthem is going poorly and is affecting the studio in ways that they will not be able to recover from.
Joseph Tao in the chat says they took the executive producer from from the Dragon Age team to bring him and his main team to Anthem.
Bam.
So,
Touche.
all right, my predictions: season pass for A Way Out, and a sequel to A Way Out called A Way In, where you break into prison, but in order to do so, you need an orange jumpsuit, but you need to purchase that in game. That is an in-game purchase. Yeah. So I also expect typical sports games, like darts 19, lawn bowling 19, croquet 19, cricket 19, and mini 19 road legal go-karts.
Nice.
I'm also anticipating Tax Evasion Simulator, in which deluxe gold, silver, platinum, and titanium will be available for pre-order. That's for games. In the way of tech, I'm thinking that EA will finally announce support for VR and make it available for Lawn Bowling 19 only, but it won't actually roll out until later this year. So...
Mousetrap's talking about some BioShock rumors. I know we're not really on this, but we don't really have a 2K.
Yeah, 2K doesn't do a press conference. So.
No, but what did I do? Did I interrupt someone?
I don't think
No,
so.
Captain Bone said Cornhole Night 2019.
That's for the Switch.
That would be amazing. You could use the Joy-Con to throw.
Yeah. And every time you get it in, just some random guy in the crowd yells, "Cornhole!" I think that should be a thing.
Right?
Or like really questionable double entendres. No, I was just looking at this BioShock thing because really the only BioShock I ever played was the first one and Infinite.
Right. So
And
you
there's
skipped
some
the good
rumors
one.
to it. What?
So you skipped the good one.
2?
Yes.
I heard that was pretty bad.
I
Or
have
not
the
bad.
I have the sort of controversial opinion that it's the best of the series. Yeah, I did a whole podcast about it one time.
I really dug Infinite. I really did.
They're all very good games.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at, and there are definitely rumors out, but I wonder what if there was a teaser at E3, who that would be under. Microsoft, probably.
Who publishes? Okay, 2K.
2K.
EA would probably be on the EA stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Well,
Maria. Welcome.
Hey, Maria. Hello.
She says, I made it. I'm late, but I made it.
So maybe we'll see some BioShock stuff, because I don't think that game is over. I don't think that franchise is over.
Of course.
Nah,
not.
that is some
Absolutely
good
not.
bread and butter for them.
Also, I was just skimming the article, but I saw some stuff about Hangar 13 doing a rhythm game because of Mafia's
That was the Mafia
Rocky.
guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of Rocky, or yeah, because Rocky 3's, yeah, because Mafia 3's rough review set, they switched over to a rhythm game called Rhapsody. I don't know how true that is, but I thought that would be interesting.
That makes me sad.
It does.
So Joseph Tao in the chat says Kotaku reported on a secret studio that 2K has that is supposed to be developing a new BioShock, but regardless, 2K announced this week that their new sequel to a major franchise was delayed.
I thought that was referring to
NBA.
Borderlands.
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
was kinda
know
thinking
why
the same
I thought
thing.
that, but that's what I thought.
Could be.
Yeah. BioShock looks like a great game, and it's on my list.
Indeed.
It's worth
quite
it.
good. Quite good.
Are we gonna do the Bethesda separate show? Are we gonna do that this year?
Oh, like a live.
I mean, Shalene, you're gonna be in LA.
I will,
Fancy
yeah.
pants.
I may be able to phone into the show though. I don't know.
Well, we'll
Because
figure
I'll
that
probably be watching it from Twitch from the hotel.
Oh no.
out. Well,
Are you gonna, Shalene? Are you gonna be capable of being on the show with us live from E3? I hope so.
Probably.
Okay.
It'll be like
the
from
Zoom
the cell
the
phone.
Zoom app on your
Yeah.
phone works just as fine.
It'll be like from the
So,
cell phone. So
yeah. Yeah. I anticipate that it will be just as good. So
yeah.
I also want to say that I guess we'll just figure that out as we go. But I do want to talk about Bethesda tonight.
yes, let's talk about Bethesda.
Okay. So I don't even remember what I put here for Bethesda predictions.
Well, we had. Are you gonna mention the leak?
Okay, let's mention the leak.
Let's talk about the elephant
We
in the room.
don't know if it's even a legit leak, guys. I don't know. There's like this is highly suspect as journalism because we do not have a good source. It's
Our
just
source is Imgur.
yes, our source is that word that I can't pronounce, and
Imgur.
and it's allegedly a leaked document containing a bunch of the E3 lineup, and on that lineup is a little game called Fallout Nuevo El Paso.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and if that's, I don't know if that's real. I think it's not real. I think it's not real. But gosh, I want it to be real.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling to I'm kind of thinking Bethesda's putting the Fallout franchise to bed.
I still think you're crazy about that.
Why did
So-
they clear out their store?
Because they're not going to have the store with Think Geek anymore. They're going to run their own store.
yep.
So if we see new Fallout franchise or new Fallout merchandise,
There is Fallout merchandise on the new Bethesda store.
okay, that's comforting.
Mhm.
That's comforting.
Yeah. So
Fallout Miramar.
I want that's exactly what it would be. Fallout Miramar. I want it to be a thing. I really
But there
do.
was some other suspect games on that list, though.
There were. Some of it
Yeah,
looked
I
super
mean-
legit. Frankly, the reason that I think it's fake is because it looked too good. You know, there were too many things on that list that I super want to see.
So who is the source? Did you read any comments on
I'm
the
digging into
picture?
that now. The
Yeah,
only thing
where
can-
I found it, a streamer that I follow retweeted it. That's where we found. So that's why I didn't have it in show notes because it's highly suspect. Highly suspect.
Well, I mean, so Captain Bones says Fallout is a big franchise for them. They'll never abandon it. I don't think that
No.
they'll abandon it, but I mean, in the way of new content,
They made way too much money to let that franchise, slip.
well, they're going to come out with a Fallout New Vegas remastered in which they will give some other name from some other part of the desert, probably, because that was probably their most popular.
Mm-hmm.
I really, I mean, I'm having a hard time with this whole leak thing because the source, from what I can tell, is a Reddit guy named ASOXUS, and he's also posting an E3 2018 Nintendo.
Real time as Rick researches.
Yeah, no, like there's apparently
The tension
now-
in this room, everyone.
I know. Now I'm looking at sources.
Oh man.
All right.
that's
Well, let
so-
me. Okay. While Rick.
While you
searches
guys
for that,
research.
let me-
This is, I think it's definitely a joke because his Nintendo spoiler list includes Super Smash Brothers Hate Sex, Metroid Prime 4 ODST, Bayonetta 3, Pokemon Go, Muck and Pokemon Go, Voltorb, Paper Mario, the paper puns everyone thought of before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that list that we saw is a joke.
Okay. Well, it's a very cruel joke.
Well, it's a very
A very
like,
unfunny and cruel joke.
well, yeah. I mean,
It probably would have been more realistic if they put Elder Scrolls on there
so yeah, I don't know.
or Elder Scrolls Online.
Let's do predictions.
All right.
My heart is broken. Let's do
Keep going,
predictions.
Shalene. What do you
Todd
got?
Howard will take the stage this year. It's not going to be just a video this time. Todd Howard is going to walk out and he's going to tell us exactly what Bethesda Game Studios has been up to. It will be this Starfield video game, of course. And I think it's going to be different than anything they've done before. And I think it's not going to have that Bethesda feel, the loot cycle.
No glitchy?
Well, I'm sure it'll still be glitchy, but I think it will be smoother. I think it will run on a new engine that will be a smoother experience. I don't think it's going to do that Bethesda thing of like, you can pick up every fork and every embalming tool and place them on a table in a little shrine. I think they are going to fix Creation Club, by which I mean they are going to tease some expansive, professional-looking quest mods. I know they teased some actual Creation Club stuff earlier. I didn't have time to watch that video, so maybe they've already done that. I don't know. Arcane Studios is working on an original VR experience. Maybe it's a new Prey. I no longer think that this one's true because right before we started the show, I saw on Twitter that Prey got new achievements. So they've just been working on Prey DLC. So no VR experience from Arcane. Scratch that one. And Uncle Pete sweats a lot.
I will say that Prey was built on CryEngine, so there's a good possibility that that might be the engine Bethesda. I don't know if they have access to that, though. I guess they would.
If Pete Hines walks out on stage again this year, Todd Howard-less, it's going to say a lot about the company, in my own mind.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the head of the snake really needs to be there. I think it
But,
says a lot about Bethesda.
But vendor, I think the press conference is Bethesda the publisher. And Todd Howard is Bethesda the studio. It's
Yeah, and he doesn't like being in public, it doesn't seem like.
he'd rather
He
work
doesn't
on
even
his
have-
video game.
He doesn't even have a Twitter account.
Yeah. So
So, I am hoping for a new Fallout. I am. I'm stupidly getting my hopes up for something. I just feel like either they're going to expand Creation Club to where it was supposed to be and it's got like good content and DLC type of things, or they're going to be announcing that they've been working on a spin-off like New Vegas type of thing. I am stupid for holding on to this hope, but here we are. And if Starfield does come out, I'm kind of excited for that. But I really wish there was a cowboy space game.
I think this is like the 5th show in a row that you've said this.
really, Rick, you want a cowboy space game?
I want a cowboy space game. Is that so much to ask for? I want a cowboy space game. I want to go yeehaw in space, but no one hears it because it's space and it's a vacuum.
Okay. So,
Well, that
Rick
happened.
yells yeehaw
Mousetrap-
into the vacuum of space.
Mousetrap mentions that it's only been 3 years since Fallout 4. That's true, but it was only 3 years since Fallout 3 when New Vegas came out. So,
Indeed.
I anticipate a Fallout remaster or something. I don't anticipate any new content, like a Fallout 5 or a Fallout something entirely different. No.
How
I don't
much
think
would
so.
you freak out if it happened?
I would probably die a little bit. Yeah.
you have to
Yes.
reboot.
I would blue screen for sure.
Blue screen.
It would
little,
just be
smoke.
incredible, guys.
Yeah, it would be
I
the
can't
year
even
of
think about
years.
I can't
Yeah.
even think about it.
And part of me wants Fallout Idaho. Oh man. Part of me really wants that to actually happen though, because Shalene, you're gonna be there.
Well, sort of.
Well,
Sort
you're
of.
gonna be there, like
Yeah.
I'm
you may
so
not
jealous.
be in the conference, but you're gonna be at the conference, you know?
I was looking at the E3 website and my stomach was hurting because I'm gonna not be there.
I know. I sent in a request and I haven't heard anything back.
I hate that feeling when it feels like you're missing out on stuff that you love.
Yeah.
You're just like, I want to
Well-
be a cool kid.
Shalene, we'll just get 2 iPads and you can put Rick on one and me on the other on little rolly stands and we'll just walk around with you. It'll be
Those are
fine.
things we can
It'll
control
be
them back
great.
here.
Okay, guys. So at work today, we had to get our security cameras repaired because at some point, presumably before I even worked at the place, somebody stole the hard drive out of the security camera so it wouldn't record.
Ooh,
Right.
That's an inside job.
Right.
Inside job.
Of course it is. Of course it is. But anyways, regardless, we had the guy come down today to fix it, and he replaced it with new equipment. And he had an iPad like on a little sling, like a shoulder bag. And that's what I could do. I could just have like bandoliers and an iPad on each side.
Oh, that would be so good.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be a great time.
It would be great.
Well, I, for one, am anticipating an Elder Scrolls Remastered edition on VR. And I'm hoping for a Fallout New Vegas somewhere in some other part of Nevada.
Reno.
Yeah, Fallout Reno.
I think some of the ISOs take place in Reno, in New Reno.
Oh, no. As for tech, I am fully expecting a brand new suit of real life-size power armor.
Which version?
Complete with fusion cores. So,
Which version?
I don't know. The T60
Okay. Good save.
with sparkles,
With pink sparkles.
with pink sparkles.
Let me just that like that.
Exactly like that. Yes,
Uh-huh.
exactly like that.
So good.
All I can hear is the Bee Gees in my head.
Now you can tell by the way
Yes,
I use
exactly.
my walk.
So good.
Oh no. Well, I think that kind of brings us to our last couple of predictions.
Indeed. Nintendo. I think that we will get a top-down Zelda game for the 3DS.
I can see it now. IGN, everywhere else, 10 out of 10.
Yes. I think we'll get lots of third-party support. I didn't do a very good job on Nintendo. It's mostly going to be ports, though. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition for Switch. And Assassin's Creed Collection for Switch. Is that already a thing?
I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
are going to see Smash Brothers, which is also going to get a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Think we're going to see a new Mario?
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Mario. I mean, it's like every type of Mario. Did you guys see that post of Mario without a mustache?
Oh,
Oh,
gosh,
that was
awful.
such an abomination.
He had no eyebrows either.
People were all up in arms about it. It was
I was
terrible.
one of those people.
It was so good.
Oh, it's horrifying.
Oh,
So
Captain
Rick,
Bones
why don't you fill us in about your chair, the ongoing saga?
I was
of
going
your
to say,
Switch?
Captain Bones said squeak, squeak. There's been a new update in my chair. It's now broken. It's missing a wheel.
so we're reviving the GoFundMe.
Here's the wheel.
Oh no.
And this came off, too.
What he's holding
that-
up,
what the-
guys,
what is
is an
that?
armrest.
It's the
Oh, it's
armrest.
an armrest.
Yes.
Is that the left or the right?
The right.
Okay, so you don't use that one anyway, because that's the one you need to mouse with. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Strap Rick, just buy a new damn chair. Maria, can we just get this man a chair? So I'm kind of like doing like a lean back thing.
oh, good grief!
All the cool kids are doing it. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's currently broken.
That's
amazing.
That's the worst when you sit on an office chair and a wheel busts off.
Yeah.
Makes you feel
Like,
so
oh.
fat.
Oh man.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's it still rolls apparently. I'm gonna send you a bar stool. Great. So I'll be like up here then.
hmm Your head will be cut off. Completely gone.
So, any further Nintendo predictions from you fine gentlemen?
Animal Crossing Battle Royale.
I actually think that would be amazing.
Tweet mother.
I would like to see a sequel to Breath of the Wild called Legend of Zelda Bad Breath. Also, Link's Crossbow Training 2 in VR. What? Maybe. I don't know.
It's a good one.
That was a thing, right? It was a thing.
I absolutely had Link's crossbow training. Of course
For
I did.
tech, I'm really hoping for a Nintendo Switch DS. And perhaps a Nintendo Labo Ryan Reynolds collection featuring Deadpool skins.
Nice.
Or perhaps
Nude.
yeah.
I hate how
See.
fast you went to that.
Now you got me.
I'm sorry, hall pass, man.
Oh man. That's all I got. That's all I got for my predictions.
You guys are amazing. I do think we're also going to see Life is Strange at the Square Enix show. We didn't have Square Enix in our list, but I think that we will see Life is Strange too.
Sorry. Mousetrap's misspelling is just
I know.
Dead Doopy. Ryan Reynolds and Dead Doopy. I love it.
Shall we move on to our listener predictions?
Yeah, let's see what the more
roll through
sane
these.
predictions have in store for us.
Captain Bones writes a few thoughts.
It's like
What is the secret project Rocksteady Studios has been working on? Is it another entry in the Batman series or something else in the DC universe like Suicide Squad, Superman, or even Justice League?
meanwhile at Rocksteady.
Will we finally see one of Bethesda's top secret new IPs this year? Rumors are swirling about a Fallout in Space style game called Starfield. The Last of Us Part 2. I don't think I need to say much more than that. Details on the story and online is all we need. I'm really hoping the online is fleshed out more this time, as it had good concepts, and of course we need some gameplay footage. Winky face. Is it finally time for IOI to reveal Hitman Season 2? They've been quiet about it, but it's no secret they've been working on it. Season 1 is one of my favorite games this gen, and it's been 2 years since it released. I think it's time. I predict Sony steals the show this year. They usually do for me with their exclusives. It's why I've been a loyal customer since the PS2.
Hear, hear.
I didn't realize that Hitman Season 1 hasn't had a Season 2 yet. Kind of reminds me of History of the movie History of the World Part 1, yet there was never a Part 2.
I feel like Hitman was an underdog,
Highly
an
underrated game.
underestimated game.
Next, we have a letter from Andrew from Fallout Feed. Dear Gamestack / WJLG, I daren't predict something that I want to happen for fear the gods will prevent it happening as a simple jest. So this is
be
by
Irish.
no means a prediction, but a simple hope. And I'm assuming you'll get this suggestion from a few other folks as well. Fallout 4 on Switch! And to a much, much lesser degree, Fallout Shelter might also be enjoyable on Switch.
I
That
can see
is
that being
all.
good on Switch.
Love the show. Keep the train a-rolling. Andrew. P.S. A far-fetched dream would be Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout Indianapolis, and Fallout 5.
Indianapolis.
I think
I
he's
think-
from there.
I think the conclusion is that, I mean, screw everything else. Everybody just wants a Fallout.
Yes.
We just want a Fallout.
Can I also say that can we please stop treating ports as freaking new games?
Yeah,
So
I agree with that.
Like it's
Ports
a new
need to
Fallout
not get
on
the same
Switch.
hype. Ports need to not get the same hype.
Yeah, it makes me mad.
I agree. Unless it's Fallout, Switch DS. Then
Indeed.
Switch DS.
we'll call it Swatch.
Micah writes, Dear GameStack Podcast, it's E3 hype time. Here are some off-the-wall predictions for Bethesda's press conference. 1. Fallout Collection on Nintendo Switch. Fallout 3, New Vegas, 4, and Shelter, all in one $60 package, all DLC included.
That would never happen.
That's a
Never in
big
a
ask,
million
but it's
years.
possible.
That would never happen.
Can you imagine fitting all that on the Switch cart? New Bethesda IP exclusive to
It's like such a evil laugh.
what?
I feel like you could conquer worlds with that laugh.
I'm just imagining fitting all those games onto one little Switch cart. It would never happen.
Okay, number 2.
Bethesda IP exclusive to the Switch. A smaller $20 to $30 game.
So
3.
Fallout Shelter.
Doom 2 release date 2019. 4. Elder Scrolls 6 to release the same day as Red Dead 2. It looks uber polished and people fear for Rockstar.
Oof.
Number 5, Rage 2 gets Nintendo Switch release date. Number 6, new mobile game that's not about cards and gets Shalene to buy more microtransactions.
It would just be called Collect All the Hats.
That's enough crazy dreaming. Keep on gaming.
Nice.
Hat Simulator 2019.
That would be amazing. Hat Simulator.
You can make your own fascinators.
Next email. Oh gosh, that's like, I'm so excited for the royal wedding because tomorrow, like, all the pictures of ladies in the fascinators are gonna come rolling out. That's the part I'm interested in, Rick. I don't care about the actual, like, wedding and whatever. Like, I hope they're happy. Those crazy kids.
I'm really disappointed.
But I want
that I'm
the
missing
wedding
it by
hats. The
a couple
wedding
weeks.
hats are gonna be so good. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna be going pretty close.
I'm just gonna be missing it by a couple weeks.
Indeed.
Oh, darn.
I'm excited for you to go. You gotta send us souvenirs from London.
Oh, absolutely.
Hello, guys. My name is Ali, an old listener. I've been with you guys since Fall It Off the Record. And here is my speculations for E3 2018 that is not in the Walmart Canada leaks. Bless their hearts. Number 1, a new BGS game, a sci-fi themed action RPG in the Creation Engine, and I have a feeling it is not Starfield.
That's a first.
You might be onto something.
Yes.
Maybe
bold
it'll
guess.
be a Cowboy Space game.
Well, we can hope. We can hope.
Jesus Christ! Can we put this to bed?
What if it's a battle royale?
Take my life.
Rick, you really need to watch Westworld.
Take me where I
You do.
cannot
You would love
stand.
Westworld.
Please,
You really
please
would.
watch Westworld.
It's
Just
on HBO. I can't get it.
Oh, jeez.
torrent it.
Well,
Hello, I thought you were the
No.
master.
shh.
I don't.
We do
steal.
not
I
endorse
don't-
this kind of behavior.
You of all people should know that creators should get paid for the content that they put all that hard work into creating.
Are you quite finished? Download it.
Number 3, Rocksteady Studios with a new DC superhero game, Superman. 4, I wrote Stalker sequel here, but it was confirmed for 2021. Yay!
What? 2021? The
Oh,
thing's
that's-
gone.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
exciting.
wonder
That's
if it'll be
forever.
delayed.
Maybe that's why they're doing it, so they can.
Let's put our mark on, X amount of years from now, so that we.
I've never even played a Stalker.
That game it's taking the
Well, that's
slow
good.
path. It's gonna stock up on the competition.
I've been following it for years now, and finally they announced it.
I see what you did there.
Number 5, possible Dragon Age game. BioWare are dead to me unless it is a Dragon Age Origin remake.
So I guess they're dead.
Number 6, Kingdom Come Deliverance DLC. Rumors about a female protagonist. Thank you guys for this amazing podcast. I love you all. Heart. We love you too,
that's
Ali.
nice.
So wait a minute. If Kingdom Come Deliverance is supposed to be realistic,
Then the
and they
female
give you
protagonist, like it's
all I can do is
bake
clean
bread
house
and-
cook.
I'm having another baby.
oh, guess I'm pregnant again.
if
oh,
she
look,
does-
I don't get to choose my husband.
Actually, I can't choose anything. The game chooses everything for me.
Oh, look, I don't get to own property.
Yeah, can never be a lord.
And she accidentally completes one math equation, and she's burned.
Yes, burned at the stake. Burn the
Yes.
witch. Burn the witch. Okay, this one's from Mousetrap. My opening one is the most obvious. Bethesda will bomb as they've done previously. Prey DLC trailer and some footage from Rage 2, aka the game no one wanted.
What if he's right? But
And-
There's so much salt.
And not
if
even
he's
a
right, though?
hint of Fallout 5 or Elder Scrolls 6 to be seen.
I have a feeling that part's going to be true.
I agree.
Bethesda really they've got a lot of damage control to do this year.
They got to pull a Hello Games.
Yeah.
By
Call-
the way, the Chili Moose just popped up on Steam playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and they are not in the chat watching. So
Rude.
We're gonna have a little chit chat.
the Moose Knuckle fell apart on this one.
Call of Duty will show more zombies or Battle Royale black. See picture below.
Pre-ordered it.
I know.
I love this kid.
Which I'm ashamed to say I pre-ordered. Yeah, roast me.
Oh, that's good.
I'm hoping for a new watch_dogs from Ubisoft. I love how badly he spells everything, but he gets the underscore in Watch Dogs.
Is that actually a thing?
I think it is, yeah.
Huh.
From Watch Dogs from Ubisoft, along with trailer for the first Far Cry 5 DLC. Rockstar will show off Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like reading hieroglyphic, huh?
How did you
I
even
love
find
that.
a star?
He did an ASCII star.
That's
Rockstar
amazing.
will show off RDR2 gameplay, maybe. EA will show footage from Battlefield 5.
Yes, they did kind of leak
Well
that.
done.
And the new Star Wars game that we all know will have microtransactions.
So, Battlefield 5, they did post a teaser picture of just a V on the Battlefield's Twitter page. So there will be a Battlefield 5 teaser trailer coming out tomorrow. So be on the
Oh,
lookout for
nice.
that. Yes.
That's a
Not to
week
mention-
ago if you're listening to the audio version.
Get bent.
Screw you, EA, to continue
we all
this
feel
letter.
that.
Hopefully we see footage for new Sea of Thieves content, because right now it's just sitting on my console, waiting to be played. Those are my predictions. Thanks for the topic and hours of fun. Sorry I missed the last show. I had been up for 24 hours and fell
Aw.
asleep, so I kind of feel bad. Love you guys. Mousetrap.
This is
So-
what I want to...
Go. No, after you.
This is what I want to say about this email. I feel like this is the voice, and
I know, right?
this is the voice we all have in our heads, but we like change it before we speak.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because how many times have we been like, this game's going to be stupid, it's terrible, pre-order?
Also, I love the legitimate excuses for missing the show.
And then
you-
apologize.
If you missed the show, we want you to write in with an excuse because, you know,
We
need a
expect a
doctor's
doctor's note.
the dog doesn't just eat your homework, you guys. You got to be accountable
Wow.
for your actions.
Wow.
But
love
I
that.
agree. I mean, there is a good chance that Bethesda. Now, I do have to say that I do think last year was an audible at the last minute.
Okay, he's mentioning the meme he sent, so I'm just going to pull that up so you guys can see it. Because I didn't have it in the show notes.
Oh,
What was it?
He posted it also in the Discord, which is where I'm going.
Okay, but I do want to say that I do agree with you that Bethesda last year was definitely an audible call. I don't really know
Here it is.
what happened.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is this a campaign?
So, they do have a lot of ground to make up for, and it is a good chance that this will be a bomb too. I mean, however, they got so much crap last year at the very end where people are kind of like, that was it. So I think it's not going to bomb. I do think that we're not going to see anything from the Fallout or Elder Scrolls universe that is based on not ESO or Fallout in general.
Righto.
So I
How
think
long
he's
do you
good
think
at
ESO is going to live?
forever?
Yeah.
Well, now that it's online,
That's what I mean. It's just going to keep going.
right?
I
it's
think
just
they have
gonna-
a pretty strong community.
They do.
It was very smart of them to make, a few really good renditions and then move it online. It's definitely sustainable and good succession planning. But that goes without saying that they can't bring it back to a AAA game.
What do you mean?
Like I still think that they could make a new Elder Scrolls.
Oh, of course they could. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course they could.
And they will.
Oh, they
you
will.
know,
Yeah,
They absolutely will.
They will, but they're putting a lot of effort into their online thing right now. But
Yeah.
I think that we will get a new Elder Scrolls when we get a new console generation. I think they're going to skip this console generation.
Unless they come
They're
out
like,
with the Xbox One X1.
I was going to say they're just going to keep updating the new current generations and just calling them Scorpio, but then giving them a terrible name. But yeah, I really like that email. I really do. Because I
We
think a
liked
lot of
all
it's
the
right.
emails very, very much. Thank you for writing
I
in.
I think a lot of it's right.
How can people send emails, guys?
If you would like to send an email like one of these fabulous listeners did, you can email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. info@wejustlovegames.com. You can also reach us on Twitter. Sorry, I kind of fizzled out after the email. You can
I was
also
going to say your voice changed to like.
you can also reach us on Twitter at We Just Love Games. I'm Shalene L, SHALINEL. Rick is Rick McVick. Vendertron is Vendertron N. That's vendor with an O. Facebook.com/We Just Love Games is where you will find our Facebook page, and Facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games is where you will find the Facebook group. And I highly recommend joining that. We get some lovely posts in the Facebook group. The Discord, as we announced earlier, will be a public Discord. So how do they find that? Do they just like search We Just Love Games in Discord?
I will post the link
I don't know how it works.
now. I will post the link right now in the chat.
Yeah.
And we will also tweet out the link later on.
Also,
Indeed.
I want to make mention real quick before we head on. There was a couple people tweeting at us about Patreon stuff, and I know that we've kind of talked about that a little bit. And I would like to get the community's opinion, and also we'll talk internally about selling out. Because there was somebody in our chat that just mentioned also about supporting the show monetarily. So.
Indeed.
Yes, that is something we've been talking.
We haven't really ever thought about selling out yet, but maybe it's time to sell out, guys.
Yeah.
Should we get EA to sponsor us?
If you would like to hear the rest of this podcast, donate to our PayPal link. Guys, we record live here every Friday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. And every other week we do a podcast. On the off weeks, we do a game stream. So next week will be a game stream of some kind. I don't know what we're going to do because we don't plan ahead. We're on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio. Remember, please subscribe to the YouTube so I can make a nice, clean URL. And review the show. If you would like a 5-star review shout out, review us on iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else, guys?
12 more subscribers. That's all we need, guys. So, if grandma's looking for a new YouTube channel to follow, just send her our link. That would be great. Send it to your coworkers, send it to your neighbors, send it to your mailman.
Indeed, absolutely.
Heck, even get your dog to subscribe.
Your boss, I'm sure, would love our podcast.
Right? Aunt Jenny, I'm sure she goes on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
She says that she doesn't believe in that Wi-Fi, but I bet she's on YouTube.
Send it to your congressman.
Send it to your MLA or congressman, yes.
Real quick, Mirage Leonardo, a new poster in our chat that I haven't seen yet.
Welcome,
Even
Mirage.
predictions for him: Devil May Cry 5 and Onimusha 5. Interesting.
Indeed.
Last minute things. Also, don't forget our new time, 8:30.
Probably.
Follow
the social medias recently described to know for
Please.
sure. Okay, guys.
Pay attention to our time.
This is the longest podcast we've ever done, and I'm tired.
also the greatest. Yes. What?
Almost certainly the greatest. Every episode is better than the last.
That's true.
We love you guys. Is that it? We're done now?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep waving until
We
you
love
run
you,
the
friends.
outro.